Hi guys, nearly midday, so let's have a quick look over for the US Open. I know it's still a fair while away, but we're coming into that period, aren't we, where things can start to push on a bit by the time this video is uploaded anyway. S&P up 23, Nasdaq up 75, and the Dow up 216 in what is a pretty range bound week, other than the craziness we saw on Monday. But yeah, you can see here it's quadruple witching as well. For a big move today, expect that after cash open if it's going to happen. The trend line isn't great, to be honest, on these lows, but just as a guide, really, all of that would have to go before we can really push on. Also, we'll probably have a bit of a line in the sand zone with the high here. Also come into the sort of buyback region after we push through as well. Crowded now around those highs, so just be careful about trying to, get in on any of them. The high of the day is the high of the 17th evening. Makes sense, doesn't it? First real retest of that. So above the high of the day, just be aware of these other highs as well, and they're both realistic. They're all realistic targets. They're not too far away and too stretched, and I would definitely be de-risking ahead of that. If we do come lower, obviously below the line in the sand, pivot looks quite good. There's a lot of support, it has to be said, around here, and it's a choppy area, and pretty much bang in the middle of the week so far. Yeah, pivot looks pretty key. Got a 3100 handle there as well, but that trend line is something I would look to have on. If we do break below, let's just call it 3110, then yeah, pivot could be that area to look to get into. It has been a quiet last 2 and a bit days, really, hasn't it? Same really applies then for Nasdaq. The only thing you would potentially say here is, if we do have a big push on, its highs to be aware of are a bit further away than the S&P being this week. You've got Nasdaq's highs of the day, which are pretty much bang in line with the high that we had back on the 11th when we started to sell off in that early Asian session, and then it's the all-time high, so just be aware of that. The Dow, let's see if we push on, yeah, the levels are much closer to those in the S&P. So here, just looking at that high of the evening of the 17th, so it's lagging behind a bit in the recovery before it gets there. Line in the sand for the Dow, a bit lower down. Decent price action all this week, really, around that level. So yeah, below 26,000, I would be bearish. Even though obviously I don't want to be selling this market yet. But a break of that, the trend line, we could start to see it unwind. Do people want to hold risk over the weekend? Potentially not. I would agree with that view. Below 26,000. We've got a couple of minutes to run through the euro and pound. Drifting down, isn't it? Really. Daily chart has got us at near enough what I like as a good level to buy if we get some bullish price action around 111.88. We have just been drifting down, haven't we? So the bulls, looking out for some potential trend lines. If you want to be late to the party, like I'm saying, a lot of the time above 12.50 could be the way to play that, in sort of looking to get us above here, trend line, and then go to the downside. Obviously, just be aware X marks the spot just below the S1 there for the euro. For the pound, poor pound, not enough in the way of positivity yesterday, I guess, for the Bank of England. Levels to be aware of just below where we're trading. I'm just going to mark up a few of these highs and lows roughly on the 60-minute, but you can see a lot of support around that S1. If you want to be late to the party, it does look like a really nice trend line went here. I mean, look at that, that's nice. A couple of false breaks, but fine, no close. Don't know why I got it on for 6-minute, but the 5-minute you can see a good break, so keep aware of that. I would say the other key resistance points being 124.30. I would be bullish above 124.40 today, just given the main push lower came from that period.